Lookism is a really interesting series that starts a pretty interesting conversation. But honestly, I think the concept in itself, at least in the way that we typically discuss it, isn't going deep enough. I think the concept of lookism is just a silencer for other forms of hatred, if that makes sense. The most insidious thing about this is that people can decide your fate after taking a glance at you, and that's all it takes. Isn't that scary? People can decide what grade you get in a course. People can decide whether or not you're worthy of sympathy. And it all starts to sound more real if you just think about it, just a little bit. I genuinely think that practicing a heuristic like this is pretty much equivalent to other forms of irrational hatred, especially because, let's be real, we know something like this is just a downstream thought process from being an ableist, being a racist, or something like that. But when we call it lookism, we're kind of muddying the waters and making it sound better than it actually is, when it's pretty much the same. And if you really think about it, the most pronounced forms of what we refer to as lookism simply just mirror other forms of discrimination that people already know are bad. But ultimately, there may be some utility in discussing this because I tend to believe that people need to be explicitly told that every single form of discrimination is wrong, because I don't have faith in the average person's ability to generalize right from wrong from the scenarios they've seen to other scenarios. But yeah, overall, this is a pretty interesting conversation that I put a lot of thought into. Hopefully 20 years from now, we aren't discussing armism and shoulderism and kneeism, and people have learned to generalize principles from one ism to another, but we'll have to see.